What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes catching up with Danny Barlow, who's got a fight coming up against Sam Patterson at an upcoming fight night in Las Vegas at the Apex. It's on March 1st. Danny, welcome to the show. I wanted to ask you, you've done a pay-per-view and you've done the Apex. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. Are you comfortable at the Apex or do you like the crowd?
Man, to be honest, I didn't did the Apex so much to where it's like it's just the crowd is like a long lost memory. You know what I'm saying? I feel like once I get back in the arena, it'll be a whole new feeling because I haven't done it in like as much as I've done the Apex. So I think the Apex is more so like home now.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear the coaches? And I'm talking about the other side because everyone can hear their own coaches, even in an arena. You develop these hearing signals where you're used to hearing the voices. But have you ever picked up stuff from the other coaches?
Man, I picked up a couple of things. I can hear the coaches, but it'd be funny because it's like you could tell based off the tones and what the coach is saying that the game plan is not going the way they thought it was gonna go. So yeah, I actually do. It's fun, and I like hearing other coaches because, like I said, those are my coaches too. You know what I'm saying? That's what we teach at practice. Like if they coaching, if they saying something, especially if they not using code words. You know what I'm saying? Like we should, I listen to them probably more than I listen to my coach.
What's the worst you've ever heard another coach say in terms of like, that fool don't want none? He don't like to get hit. Break him. We can break him. Anything like that?
No. Like I mean, I'm pretty much always winning my fights for it. Like so, it's more so like it's a lot of like go now. It's like that type of stuff. Like when they try to get their fighter to like push the pressure, but it ain't never like nobody really talking smack. I can say that. And I think that'll make it worse.
The reason I'm going down this road, I've seen your Instagram. I've seen a hoops ball in your hand. And I wanted you to compare, since it appears you can ball, unlike many other MMA athletes that are horrible athletes outside the octagon. Compare basketball trash talk to MMA trash talk.
Oh man, when it comes down to basketball, bro, it's for me, I'm more comfortable, with talking trash, with basketball because I didn't hoop so long. So I know so much about myself and I just know like how good I am at it. But MMA is more so like if I'm talking trash, it's to get a person to do what I want them to do. But basketball, if I'm talking trash, it don't matter what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like it don't matter. Like it ain't nothing you can do to stop what I'm finna do. You know what I'm saying? But MMA is more so if I'm talking trash, you know what I'm saying? And it's basically a part of the game plan. Meaning if we going to get it'll have to be game plan. But I feel like basketball, I don't care what day it is, what time it is. Like I don't care, like I don't care where we at. Like it's always a proper time to talk trash. But in the fight, you might have a guy that you want to to kind of like you want to push them away from aggressiveness, and some guys you want to run them into being more aggressive so they can make mistakes. So it's more strategy when it come down to talking trash in the cage, bro. You see what I'm saying?
What positions did you play in basketball when you competed, and what's your favorite NBA team?
Man, I play everything. I really was a go-to guy on the court, especially in high school. I started to kind of pick. I was a dunker, man. I used to dunk on people, so I started to be more so small forward once I got into college. Yeah, so now I pretty much I didn't turn to more so a shooting guard now, like a pad, like point guard, shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? Just to stay safe. You can't. I don't like to just jump over guys and do it take that risk of getting hurt. So I do a lot of shooting and passing now, and I get a fast break dunker here and there. So yeah, and I can say my favorite team is whatever team LeBron James on. But the Memphis Grizzlies, of course. The Memphis Grizzlies, like that's my team. But it's like it's Memphis Grizzlies and whatever team LeBron James on. I can say it like that.
Okay. Well, we're Laker fans, so we can kind of say the same thing right now. LeBron's with us.
I know y'all love that trade they just did there.
We sure did. Yesterday was his first game, and they scored 132 points. They were passing the ball around, and everything was nice and beautiful. But I will say I'm a big fan of Ja.
For real?
Oh, yeah, dude. That guy can hoop, and he takes it to the rack so hard.
Yeah, I finna say that one of the most explosive player in the game, man. We blessed to have him over here in Memphis. For real.
For sure. All right. Well, let's get back to fighting. We're on hoops.
Yeah.
What look like you can play a lot of sports. What guided you towards fighting?
Man, more so, I tried it out. I wanted to box at first, and I love boxing. I love like my favorite fighter was Emmanuel Gustafson. And I just like the Roy Jones Jr.'s, the Floyd Mayweather. I like the art of boxing better. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it was so much artistic expression in it, especially with the guys that I studied coming in. So yeah, like that's what got me into it, boxing at first. Then once I started boxing, I met an MMA coach. You know, and the MMA coach was like, "Man, you explosive, you fast. Man, let's try kicking today. Let's try grappling today. Let's try wrestling today. Let's try okay." And then it's like it was in my hands because it was like after I found out that boxing wasn't the most dangerous, aspect of fighting, I had to learn, other things. And I was like, man, like this jujitsu real, like that's real. I need to learn that because it's an advantage that I don't have. So I learned jujitsu. Then it kind of ran into competing like 3 months after I started training to where, like, my career went fast. So what got me into it is just really coach introducing it to me and me just having that competitive spirit to where I don't like to not be good at nothing, especially if I know I'm not good at it.
Danny Barlow's our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He's 9-0. He's taking on Sam Patterson, who's 12-2.
Yeah.
And the fight's coming up here, in about 3 weeks
Yeah.
in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Should be a good one. Goes, what do you have for our guest, Danny Barlow?
You said
Danny,
you said what I have.
No.
You said
No,
what?
what I have for you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Danny, so what do you think stands out about your opponent? When you look over his fights, the things he's done, is there anything that stands out to you?
Man, bro, to be honest, not like he one of them guys that I feel like, man, no, nothing really stands out. But I can tell that he is not used to fighting big guys. I feel like he's used to dominating because he's more so his size. And he's 6'3", he coming up from 155. Then the 170s that he fought, it wasn't really true 170s. So I could tell that he's probably used to dominating or just feeling good in his fights. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling overbearing or out of position. So I feel like he's comfortable. He's comfortable coming into this fight. I feel like he will stand, but he kind of he'll throw that guillotine or he'll take the opening. So I feel like he's a fighter that's that don't really have a game plan, but kind of take what he can get. But I feel like he have to have a game plan against me, and I don't know what that game plan would be. So yeah, that's all that I say can stand out. I feel like he's just a guy that kind of take what he give. And like I said, he's not used to not being the most physically dominant fighter in the cage. I can't say that.
Do bonuses come into play in your head? Because it can be life-changing money at times. And, some fighters say, we don't like to think about it. And others say, look, when I see my opponent and I know what I can do, I feel it coming. How do you feel for this fight?
Man, I just hope I get it this time. So I just hope I get it. I feel like I have put the work in as far as like if you look at the backstories of every fight, if you look at the first fight, finishing the third round, which they said I'm only good at finishing guys within the first round. Then I get a third round finish. Then I do it with a broke arm. So it's like the story is worth $50,000. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't come in the cash, but it's worth $50,000. And last fighting with the broke arm that's still fractured in against a last minute switch out opponent that's a Russian and way like the opposite of why I took the first fight and go in there with staph infection and pull out basically pull out one of those Floyd Mayweather, very, like critiqued and calculated fights to where I end up getting a split decision. That's a good story. So I say that I have had the stories already, but like I said, in the finish, So it's like, man, I'm just hoping that, you know, this fight, I'm looking forward to it. And I feel like I want that bonus, bro. I need it, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of saying I deserve it. So hopefully this time I actually do get it. Because it do take, like, winning and losing. You know, if you lose, that's half of your purse. If you win, that's, you know, both, that's your whole full purse. Then the bonus is just, of course, anything on top of, you know, getting a full purse check is amazing. But extra 50,000, man, it can't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? Unless you gonna go to the casino and bet it all that night on, you know what I'm saying, on the Cowboys or something. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing that could be bad about that 50,000, bro. But man, I can say, man, it definitely will help, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And this the fight right here, so hopefully I get it.
Don't bet it on the Cowboys. But
Man,
hey, look, Danny, and you know, we just recently heard Dominic. And you know,
you started breaking. You said Dominic Reyes. What?
No, Dominic Cruz just
Cruz.
retired. So we've been talking about his career and Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum's fight went in the Hall of Fame. And been talking about Israel Adesanya's career and the marks that they've hit. I know it's early for you, but you know, going into the sport, what is it that you kind of want to, years from now when we're having these conversations about Danny Barlow, what do you want us to say about the marks that you hit in our sport?
Man, like I said, I really want to just more so just change the game as far as bringing, like, the fight back, bringing MMA back to America. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, the American fighters, like right now we got a big stance on Russian fighters. And we right now it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, people that I can say, like, English is not their first, you know what I'm saying, form of, you know, communication, to a point to where it's like we don't really have we got a lot of fans that want to see people get knocked out, but we don't have a lot of fans that really connect to the fighters anymore, because it's just about fighting, because nobody really, you know, culturally connect with Americans anymore. I can say that. So I want to just really be that representative for not just Memphis or Tennessee, where I'm from, but just be one of those American fighters that bring that culture, you know, of fighting with MMA back to the fans, and to make it also just, like, you know, more genuine, you know, saying, fan base for the fighters. Because right now we just seeing a group of people that people just want to see get knocked out. But if you, like, in boxing, you look at Gervonta Davis, or you look at these other characters or these other, you know, entities, and like I said, they got real fans outside of just being fighters, you know, fighting in the cage. So me, I just want to bring just the whole aspect of the swag, the entertainment, the you know, the talking, the walking, the, you know what I'm saying, everything, the actual fan base connections, you know what I'm saying, to where it's like, yeah, it's just like that, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's what I've been noticing. Because I know I'm a win fights. I'm a not. It's a lot of fighters that come in the game and knock people out, win fights, and don't really have nothing to show for as far as a legacy. So I feel like with those guys, they left, like, you know, I feel like they the one thing they do have in common is they all have swag in the cage, and outside the cage they have swag. And I feel like, you know, that's something I want to, you know, replicate. But you can say a lot of those guys, you know what I'm saying, what was their what was their representation, you know, for what, you know, I want to bring the swag, but I want to be a representation for American fighting in that sense.
Fucking men. Am I on, guys?
Yeah.
Am I on? Okay, sorry. We might be having internet trouble on our end. I apologize for that. But all I can say is fucking men. I'm hearing you. Fist bump. Exactly. There's too many champions, too many top name fighters that aren't connecting with the fans. I would love for more American athletes to start succeeding and bring swag to the game, because I've seen it growing up in boxing, in hoops, and football.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought our sport was starting to get a few of them types of players, you know, along the way. But yeah, you know, man, I was feeling you as you were saying that.
Yeah, because it's like they use America to train. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I can't go to Dagestan and train, you know, and get out. But it's like they can come to America and fight You know what I'm saying? And then they can go, you know, back home and use all their secret resources or whatever they doing over there, and they competing with us. And then everything over, like in certain areas is cheaper, you know, so they get a chance to actually invest in their craft a little bit more. It's like our chicks out, you know, we getting paid the same contracts, but it's like we stand in more, like, you know, it's like everything costs more. So it's like for an American fighter to actually be able to invest in his own, like, you know what I'm saying, game, and invest in his own, like, you know what I'm saying, you know, fight career, it takes so much more energy to the point to where, like, it's like the like you got to market yourself. It's like, because UFC is trying to expand so much to where they giving the apex and all the resources, they giving them the same resources we have, but we're not receiving any of their resources. You know what I'm saying? We can't have the access to go to Dagestan and Russia to train with those guys, but they can come to our gyms and train with us and learn all of our secrets. And I feel like from a like, who cares if I own the UFC? Who cares about that problem? But as a fighter, I care. You see what I'm saying? As a fighter, I'm like, man, I gotta have sway. I gotta be okay. So if I see a lot of those fighters get built, also, like when I look at the matchups, I'm a very intellectual person from like the understanding of whatever game I'm in. Like, I got very good basketball IQ, and that just kind of trickled on into MMA. But what I see is, when I look at, and the reason I'm saying Russian fighters, because I seek to have like American fighters back dominating, and those who are dominating. But when I look at their matchups, when I look at who they're fighting, how they're built like boxers, meaning that Hamza didn't fight nobody. He didn't fight anybody. He fought a commentator. He fought Kamaru Usman at 185. He fought Gilbert Burns at the smallest 170, like past his prime. Then he fought Kevin Holland on a 1-day notice. You know what I'm saying? And none of those, like, then even if you look at Islam, he fought 145s. He fought guys that was injured. You see what I'm saying? It's like, or fought guys that on short notices. They're not getting people real counts to fight these guys. So then they want guys to go in there, hurt and knock these people out and dominate these people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I look at that. Like, if you look at my matchups, I fought a Russian on 2-week notice. Ain't no and he's not under UFC contract at the moment, so ain't no telling what he taking. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all of that plays a part. Then I'm fighting guys that never ain't been finished before, fighting guys that haven't lost, like never been knocked out before. I'm knocking out guys that never been. So it's like I'm coming in fighting guys that's not cans, to where it's like, am I gonna do a spinning back heel kick and knock this guy out and get all the fans? Of course, if you gave me the same matchups a lot of these guys get, you know what I'm saying, I would be the best fighter. Like Carlos Spray, 2 fights in, he's a beast. I mean, he's not fighting anybody though. You see what I'm saying? It's like so it's like the marketing. That's where it go back to how are we like building American fighters. You know what I'm saying? How are we marketing American fighters? You know what I'm saying? To be dominant in the game. And then if you look at just from the numbers, if I just look at, okay, this guy lost 3 fights against killers though, and this guy won 3 fights against scrubs. It's like, if you switch their opponents, he you know what I'm saying? So that's what the game had really been. But I'm Mr. No complaining. No, I'm ready for whoever and whatever. That's why I show. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if I come in with staph infection, short notice, 2 weeks, and with a broke arm, and then I thought I fight this guy that ain't lost in 10 years and only barely lost against Michael Morales 17-0. I don't want to, after I win the split decision against this guy, oh man, you ain't left-handed guard no more because you ain't just sleep this dude that ain't never been sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like, give me like the year's medic. You see, he went after I had the matchup with him, he went and got knocked out first round, first one. That's what I was gonna do to him. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like they giving my dubs away. Kenya Shita, he trash. So it's like, I can highlight, like they giving all my highlights away. Then after Kenya Shita duck, they give me this Josh Quinlan. You know what I'm saying? Like, notably, been on juice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so that's what I'm fighting, guys on steroids, Russian killers with the best teams, the best resources. They, you know what I'm saying, the best sponsors and all of that. So it's like, I'm this the game that I'm dealing with, or this the game that, you know what I'm saying, I'm from Memphis. I know guys that's from Mexico. They got a whole country behind them when they come into it. So that's an extra more $50,000. Well, 50,000 followers and a bigger support group. So me coming from Tennessee, me coming from Memphis, I have to do way more work. And you know what I'm saying? And I know these guys not doing what I'm doing because they can't even speak English, most of them. So how is they marketing themselves the way? And that's what American fighters have to do now. They have to come in, dominate, talk, market themselves, walk, manage money well, then win fights spectacularly. So that's what so that's why I said either I'm gonna just find a way to do exactly what the fans want, or I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, find a way to let these people understand the game and understand it's just not, oh, I see a fight I like, knock them out. You know what I'm saying? Actually start to learn that it's mixed martial arts, love the art of the game, fall in love with the sport. That's why I like MVP, because it's like, you know, he got
he got this cool.
Yeah, because I was just saying I like it, like he got that swag to where if he ain't finishing nobody, he, you know what I'm saying, you still like it's a dance, it's a certain dance that he's doing, it's a certain rhythm that he's doing, and that's how I was when I first started.
And he made the most out of his mic time at the end of the fight. He connected with the camera, with the fans.
Yeah,
it's an art, you know, and not everyone's good at it, but I'm glad that you're taking interest in it, because so many fighters show up, fight, we don't hear from them for 4 months, and then you know,
and I think that's
wonder what happened 5 years later, because you know they didn't stand out of the crowd.
And I think that's killing the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think that's killing the game, bro, a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's putting like I said, it's killing the game, bro. For me, like it's killing the game for me. It's like I know this guy, I know how he fight, but I don't know. Like, and then I feel like they give them, like, basically after you become a champion, they give everybody the silk shirt and the chain, and it's like, bro, like it's like they'll give them the swag that they never had. You know what I'm saying? Based off that, but it's like it's guys that really, you know what I'm saying, got real swag out here. They just being slept on. They just not winning those hard and tough, difficult fights. Just really hard fights. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at the game, that's what I see, man. You know, I'm over talking, but yeah.
I think the co-host has one more for you on the way out. Go ahead, Goes.
I don't even know if it's so much a question as it is a request, but I'm an old school boxing fan. We grew up on boxing, you know, but we ended up in mixed martial arts. So when you brought up Emmanuel Augustus, I was losing my mind. But I was thinking, if you ever get to a title fight, they usually let you do some kind of custom shorts. If you ever did that leopard print custom short in kind of respect to one of your heroes, I think that'd be pretty tight to be like that.
Hey man, like, okay, guys.
That's what he wore, right? The leopard.
Yeah. That's I'm telling you, bro. That's my dude, bro. That's my
get him to walk you out and everything. That'd be dope.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's a dream. Now that would be a dream for me. So it's definitely a request. I would try to make happen for sure.
All right. Thank you for the time today, Danny. It was great catching up with you, man. Really fresh content here. I like your takes on your career and what you want to do with it. I'm sure the fans appreciate it as well. Good luck with the rest of your camp. We'll see you here in Vegas in a few weeks.
All right, man. Thank y'all, man.
Right.
Have a good day.